If you just start an ad and it barely has any impressions, you need to kind of crank it up a little bit, right? The thing is, this is going to be your best friend. You want to learn the back end as much as possible. So if you start an ad, like I said, and you see it barely getting any impressions, you want to increase the bid just a little tiny bit, right? All right, so in this video, I'm gonna show you how to run a auto campaign ad, sponsored products, right? So I clicked on the create a new campaign, all right, and it brings me to this screen right here. And what we're gonna do is come over here, click on sponsored products, right? And we're gonna press continue. All right, so the way I like to set up my campaign names, and also too, this is going to be a series of videos, so you're definitely going to want to watch the next one and the next one after this one. I'm just going to break down everything as much as possible and give you as much value and information. The only thing that I ask is that you guys give this video a thumbs up and you share it with somebody that doesn't know how to do Amazon advertising, right? So that's all I ask. So campaign name, what I like to do right here is, so for example, this listing over here, just an example, this monkey dabbing, okay? That's just an example. What we're going to do is, so what I like to do is the niche, right? And then the ASIN. So the ASIN's down here on the bottom. Product details. Also too, there's a cool thing that DSD quick view is done right here. You can literally just click on it and then it'll copy the ASIN too as well. So that's a cool little feature that they're doing, that they added recently. And then so what I would do is, so for example, just type in monkey and then the ASIN. Okay, boom. All right, it kind of just keeps it all organized right there. There's a portfolio, you can put them in the portfolio. Start, I just leave this as is, in, I leave it as like, no date, okay? No date right there. You can, this all depends on you, but I like, you start low, $2, so that way you feel comfortable. And then the targeting, we're doing it automatic targeting, okay? In the next video, we'll do a manual targeting, so you can have, like I said, understanding of that. Now, right here, this pretty much all depends on you. You're going to see it's going to tell you exactly what it's doing. From my understanding, I tested up and down. I've tested down only. I tested fixed bid at the very beginning. This is like up and down is Amazon's going to basically, you can see, or raise your bids by a maximum of 100%. So it's cool because you're going to get more data faster, and it all depends on your goals, right? And this is important because if you are being very aggressive with your ad and you know that you kind of like, some people get really scared when they start spending a lot of money, like, oh no, right? But the main idea here is to help you generate sales with your ads and for you to understand what you're doing. You do not want to, if you spend $2, $3, $4, you just, oh no, I'm scared, I'm turning it off because I am spending too much money. You don't want to do that. You want to learn how to read the data before you make any decisions on this, right? And definitely I will get into more information about that. But if you're just starting off, just start with down only, okay? If you have some experience, you can mess with down, up and down a little bit, just kind of test it. But I recommend you just use down only. I have tested down only, up and down, fixed bid, up and down. It does spend more money, right? So if you put 25 cents, it's going to be like, okay, if a customer is searching for it and then you're in competition with another competitor, let's say they're bidding 30 cents at down only, but you have it on up and down at 30 cents, you're going to basically outbid them by using up and down, right? So you get what I'm saying right there. So it's, like I said, it's all up to you. So now we go down, add group name. I just leave it as it is right there. And then as I come down over here, you're going to go to all Amazon products, put the ASIN in, search, and then you're going to add this in, okay? And then you're going to come down to automatic targeting and then set the default bid, okay? The suggested bid says $1.57, okay? I always like to test because it's anywhere between 20 to 30 cents, and I get this question asked a lot. RJ, what are you starting your bids off at? Okay, it all depends. But like, it depends how I feel. Literally, that's all it is. But for this example, I'll do it at 25 cents. Now, let's say you know your niche already, right? Okay. You know your niche and you know what keywords are not doing good, or you know that negative, like, you know your product targeting, you know which ones are, you know what keywords are not doing good in your niche, and you kind of research your niche and you understand your niche, right? You can literally just start off by putting some negative keywords in there, right? And then negative product targeting too as well. And then literally all you're going to do is launch campaign. Okay, when you launch campaign, you're gonna launch your ad. Boom, you're done. Successful. Awesome job. Now, I have launched plenty of ads, automatic ads, where they're very successful. Okay. I launched one the other day and I made 2 sales. Okay. Every single ad's going to be different. And one of the most important things that you want to pay attention to when you're launching an ad is the impressions, right? Because based off of your impressions, right? It all, like your impressions on your campaign. If you're not getting any impressions, that means you have to increase your bid a little bit, right? In order for you to get more impressions. The goal is, because you can go into a niche and have your bid very, very low, but if you're not getting any impressions, that means your bid is low. But then as you start to increase it, let's say by 5 cents. Let's say we started off at 25 cents and I'm not getting any impressions. So I'm going to increase it to 30 cents. And then I start to get impressions, right? I don't want you guys to think like, oh yeah, I'm going to run ads and make sales right away. You want to focus, like learn the data, learn the information that it's getting you. Are you getting clicks and stuff like that? No, there'll be a whole different video too as well about like, when should I turn off my ad and when should I do this and that, all that stuff. But this is the most important thing is when you do this, you can check back on it. Like I want to say when it comes to Amazon advertising, it's more like a weekly basis thing, right? The more data that you have, the better. It helps you make a better decision if you have more data. Okay. If you have very little data, it's very hard. It's like if you have very little information, it's hard for you to make a better decision, right? The data don't lie. The data tells you a ton of good information. I would literally let this auto campaign run for like a whole week, okay? And once it starts converting, maybe 2 weeks, you know what I mean? It might take you 2 weeks to get traction and get clicks and stuff like that. Just let it run. And then once you start getting traction, you're going to see information. I'm going to actually take you probably over to a automatic campaign ad that can show you that's doing really well. And you can kind of get a better idea of the data. So let's go over there. All right. So I'm going to blur out pretty much a lot of this stuff, but this is an automatic targeting ad. Okay. This has been running since October 8th, 2019. So it's been up there for a while, right? As you can see, right, spent over $2,000 and it has over 13,000 sales. ACOS is at 15%. Okay. My break even on my account, and this is something that you guys want to learn, and your ACOS, right? What's your break even ACOS on your Amazon advertising account? Because everyone's different, right? Me, I focus a lot more on standard t-shirts. So my break even is 25%. But, I try to focus more on targeting between like 15 to 18%. It depends. Depends how I feel and how aggressive I want to be, because sometimes I'll go to 20%, or sometimes I even I'll go to 25, or sometimes I even go 30%, right? It depends like how aggressive I'm being. I'm paying attention to how much money it's making on the front end organically, because once you start making sales, right, it's going to rank your product on the front page, and it's going to start ranking organically, and you're going to get more sales. You're going to get a lot of sales organically too as well, just as much as AMS. But it's also a good thing if you're making sales from AMS, not AMS, but Amazon advertising. If you're making sales and you're in the profit over here, that's amazing, right? That's good. So what do I mean? Okay, so let's say you started an ad, right? And you barely have any impressions, right? As you can see, this one has over 6 million impressions. I'm paying attention to this. The first week I'm looking at this stuff. So let's go back to, let's say like last 7 days, right? So if this doesn't have any impressions and I start, like you can see the ACOS is kind of right now, 69%, right? What I'm paying attention to is this. Okay, you're going to see this. If you just start an ad and it barely has any impressions, you need to kind of crank it up a little bit, right? The goal is to, get clicks and get traffic. Right now, if I look at the last 7 days, this is freaking horrible, right? You don't want that. Now let's look the last 30 days. Better, right? Still better, right? But let's see year to date. Good, right? So it's good. ACOS is good. Everything's good over here. But the thing is, this is going to be your best friend. You want to learn the back end as much as possible. So if you start an ad, like I said, and you see it barely getting any impressions, you want to increase the bid just a little tiny bit, right? Okay. You're going to come back here. You're going to see placements, negative targeting, campaign settings, all that stuff, history and all that stuff. If I come over here and I click on the ad group right here, and it's going to take me to the next level. Okay. Let's go over here to targeting. Okay. The targeting right here, you're going to mess with the bid a little bit right here. And you're going to see this right here. And it depends how you want to do this and organize this. You can see how I have it: clicks, spend, CPC, orders, sales, and all that stuff. This is going to give you ideas. So sometimes when it comes to your ACOS and all that stuff and learning everything, you want to pay attention to a lot of the data that's back here. Okay. You can have a very profitable ad, but like the close match can be messing up the whole ad, right? Like, so for example, let's do lifetime so you can have a better idea. As I come in here to lifetime, right? We're going to look at, so loose match, you can see that it's doing pretty well right here. So that means 8%, right? I think that now it's up to me if I want to turn this up a little bit, right? I'll turn it up a little bit, right? Because at 8%, that's a hell of an ACOS, right? By the way, and you look at lifetime over here, we're at 16% right here for substitutes, right? Okay, and it'll break it down for you right here. Okay, every single, what it says right here. Substitutes will show your ad to shoppers who view the detailed pages of products similar to yours. All right, so it's basically exactly what it said, right? So as you look at this, sometimes there's going to be scenarios where, and I'll probably show you one later on, but there's going to be scenarios where you have a ad spend and the ACOS is really good, right? And you can see it's 16%, but then there will be like, this one would be at $10, right? Ad spend, and then it will have no sales. I would literally just turn down the bid over here because it's not doing anything. Like for example, this one right here doesn't have enough data for me to make a decision to turn it down. So maybe I should turn it up a little bit so we can see what happens. So you get what I'm saying? If I don't have enough data, I can't make a decision on that, right? So this is just an automatic campaign that I want to show you that has a ton of data and it's crushing, right? As you can see, over time, over 2,000 ad spend, right? And then 13,000 sales. All-time ACOS is 15%. You want to figure out your ACOS too as well. I'll put that down below in the description. You can check that out. The ACOS is very important. Understanding of everything, what your break even, okay? Because you don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm at 60% ACOS. And it's like, it's not good. You want to learn how to optimize and do all that fun stuff. Search terms is like a whole different topic and a whole different video. It'll give you an insight of a successful, auto campaign ad and see what it's doing and look at the sales. You can match it on your end and see if it's this is a better insight for you to help you understand, what a successful auto campaign is. But I don't want to just show you like the successful one. There's bad ones too as well, right? And you actually do have to make a decision, right? It's like if it's spent $8, $7, $6 and it's no sales, it's kind of like bad, right? And then you can go into the search terms and see what search terms are not doing good, and you can literally put them into negative targeting, and that can pretty much change the whole ad around, right? So there's steps to this, right? Don't just like, oh no, I'm gonna go turn it off. Don't do that. Okay. The whole idea behind this video is to help you and give you a better understanding so you can make more money, right? Why else why are you watching this video? Just to hear me talk? No, you want to make money. So that's my goal too, to help you. So give this video a thumbs up. Check out my other video right up here.